Alright guys, we're starting our next challenge run here in DQ4. And, well, I'm sure you already know because it's in the title, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is mages only, so Borya and Maya, they're the only ones that get to be played as. I'm going to do something similar with how I've done Solo, Alina, and Mina, where if I need to, I will use Tornico to get their stats up higher than they usually are, if it seems necessary. But at the moment, we don't need to worry about that. We are just in Chapter 2 here, and this is the part where we try to defend Tabarov. Excuse me. Since I can't use either of the other two, I had to level Borya up to level... well, you'll see. I had to get him to level 11 to make this fight possible, and now that he's at level 11, this should be actually decently easy. My test run made things go by really fast. However, if I didn't have, well, I'll show you. If I didn't do this, this would have been a lot harder, because then you'd be very luck-based using snooze. But anyway, here's Borya's stats. He doesn't have any strength, his resilience is crap, wisdom is high, which matters very little other than learning spells a little bit faster, and agility is okay. I mean, even at level 9, which is what I got Alina up to before I killed her since we need to use her at the end, she's already faster than him and got better resilience. I'm sure by the end of this, well, Borya's going to be pretty miserable. But in any case, this is what we're working with, but we had to get him up to level 11 because that's when he learned Crackle. Now, depending your luck, he might learn it slightly earlier or slightly later, because unfortunately in DQ4, I didn't realize this until several challenge runs, you don't always learn spells directly at certain levels. It's just generally when they learn it. If you had bad luck in your wisdom level ups, sometimes you'll learn things later, or if you had really good luck, you'll learn them slightly earlier. In any case, the Crackle is going to be extremely useful because it does very good damage and can one-shot everybody in this fight. However, the big boss, Master Kung, is, well, he's resistant to ice a little bit. Not very much. Oops. No. I meant to say yes. I forgot they default to no here. You know, it's funny. I've done this fight in several different ways so far. I've done one with just Kiro alone, with Alina and Borya alone. Now it's time for oh yeah, and Alina alone as well. So now it's Borya's turn alone, which means this is probably the last time I'll be filming something with this, unless there's some other what do you call it, challenge I'm not thinking of. I don't know. In any case, Borya has also got the best gear he can get, which is the Cypress Stick and all the leather gear. Leather helmet, shield, and armor. He's one of the few mages... Excuse me for clearing my throat. But, yeah, those are the best. That's the best gear he can equip, and it's going to be the best gear for a little bit, unfortunately. I mean, he's going to get a weapon upgrade right after this. As for his items, he's got a bunch of medicinal herbs, just in case. Anyway... this explanation probably took longer than how this fight's gonna go for boss time. Alright, first things first, let's snooze Master Kung, because he's the most dangerous because he can put you to sleep with his attacks. See, that weird wavy animation that he does, I used to think there was just no reason for it at all. But no, it could actually put you to sleep, and if it does that, Borya's basically screwed. Like that. Okay, we're okay. But yeah, luckily just one Crackle will do it, but the reason I didn't target him with it first is because he could resist it, put you to sleep, and then tear you down, and you just don't want that. So that's it for that. I told you it's going to be quick only because we had Crackle. If I had to rely on Crack, I would have had a minimum of 4 rounds to, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, it would have been a minimum of 8 rounds, assuming each Crack actually hit. So... yeah, leveling him up to level 11 is also very painful too, because the creatures around here don't give very good experience. Just giving you guys a heads up. Anyway, all that build up for this, and I know. But next I'll be meeting you in Chapter 4, where I'm sure it's also going to get pretty painful, though at least Maya has very good attacks, so I guess I'll be seeing you there. Alright guys, we're here in Chapter 4. And with Maya. So this fight is not bad, but you have to get a little lucky. There is definitely a luck factor, unfortunately, because Maya's best attacks can be sometimes resisted by Balzack, so you kind of gotta hope that, things work out. In any case, though, well, I got her to level 19 just so she can learn Frizzle. Sorry, I was looking for the button to work and it wasn't working for a second there. But yeah, in any case, yeah. So these are her stats. This is the best equipment she can get, and as you could see, terrible strength, terrible resilience, fair agility, but her stats rely more in wisdom and luck. Her HP is actually, well, better than Ujum's, who I lowered down to 1. And her MP is, of course, amazing because she's a mage. Here are her spells, and we'll be using Frizzle because Frizzle has the best damage range, and with the fact that Balzack does have a heal over time, passive heal, you want to have more power. Sizzle does not break that threshold, and she does not have the strength, so you need to have Frizzle for this fight. And that can make this fight super easy at times, but it also can go backfire on you pretty fast too. So, it's pretty up in the air. So, but anyway, that's it for her. Ujum might get an attack or two in, but as we all know, that doesn't really matter because the damage he does is basically going to get healed by the end of the round anyway. For the most part, anyway. So, with that said, let's get started, and hopefully we'll be able to do this on try 1. My test runs have been proved to be mostly okay, but I didn't try with a different RNG manipulations to see if what happens on bad luck times. But I didn't show the item setup, but you saw it in the attributes. All she has is a bunch of medical herbs and the Sphere of Silence. But anyway, enough of me talking. It's boss time against Balzack. Alright, so first things first that you should always do is use the Sphere of Silence. And he often will do that. Alright, that damage that Ujum just did probably just got fully healed up, or if not, it's a 4 damage at most that got left on him. Because Balzack heals about 20-ish. I didn't do all the math. I know someone did for me, though, before. Quasar on YouTube. But anyway, nice. Alright, didn't get resisted. Ow, quit it. But yeah, just go all out on Frizzle. And damn it! Alright, that's not good. That is good. You gotta imagine he's healing about 20. I'm gonna probably say 25 is probably the number. So that effectively did 60. That did a little less. That did a 47, I think. But keep going. Oh boy. I'm gonna risk it one more because we're faster. Okay, we're good. We're good. Yeah. See, that can go bad if he decides to resist more often than not. So you gotta be... You definitely have to save scum, probably, if you want to go at this low level. You could try leveling up more, but honestly, I hated leveling in this, because it got really boring. You can't grind rat attacks as simple like Mina, because you don't have the defense for that. You basically have to just keep going in and out of Mammon, and basically finding long rounds of enemies to kill fast with Sizzle. And Ujum, I allow Ujum to help, but yeah, it is difficult. But anyway, we're through it. That's all that matters. Next up, we get to see Maya's doing one more solo against the Lighthouse boss. So that will be interesting, because we already had one with her and Hoffman do it once. Let's see if she could do it by herself. I'll see you there. Okay, guys, we're here at the Lighthouse, and this one can be tricky. It's a little bit... You may have to get a little lucky, but overall it should be doable. So, anyway, we're at level 20. We only gained 1 level since last time, and well, like I said, this is doable, but you're gonna be running things a little risky. Here's our item setup. The best thing that we can get at the best things we could do at the moment is get the golden tiara and the spangled dress. Those are the best pieces of equipment you can get. Spangled dress you get at the casino. Best defense that she can get until a little after this, I think. I think the Robe of Serenity is less than the Spangled dress. I can't remember. But that, again, that's not important right now. I got the Meteorite Bracer at the casino as well because speed is pretty key. And Golden Tiara, you can buy one at the town prior to this, but you could also find one in here, so you could save a little bit of money and just pick one up here. And of course, our best weapon is the Poison Moth Knife right now, at least in terms of actual damage. We won't need to do actual damage this time, though. We're going to be just using spells, but it's good to keep your options open. I did try to see if maybe the Poison Moth Knife would paralyze people, but it doesn't. The rest of our gear, the rest of our items is the medicinal herbs, because you're going to need to heal some. As for what we're doing, well, skills and whatnot, well, skills are about the same. And here's our stats because it's just one level difference, but just so you can see them. So, time to get started, and hopefully this is going to be the run that works. My 2 test runs worked out okay, but it really depends whether or not the Tigergram ends up war crying us, because if he war cries us, we're almost definitely screwed. Alright. For boss time against Tigergram and a couple of flamethrowers. What we need to do to start, go all out on Tigergram. He is the most dangerous person here. You would think you want to go for the flamethrowers, but you just can't attack them fast enough because only bang works on them. Okay, that worked. That failed to work. Good. Just like my test runs. Good. 3 frizzles will take him out. We just gotta last that long. Oop. Almost made a mistake. Okay, we're good. Now, the semi-tricky part. If you fall below 32 health, you need to heal. That's about the maximum amount of damage that I've noticed that they could do. Alright, we're okay here. Let's use Bang. Luckily, they don't have any status effects. Alright, we're below 32. Let's heal. Gotta use those medicinal herbs very much so. I could probably get away with doing this one, but I'd rather heal up a little more. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. Now we're slightly safer. But yeah, you don't want to get stuck in a healing loop, because you're not going to win. Right, heal. Below 32, keep healing. Maybe I should have gotten rid of my weapon for this. Alright, we can barely survive a high-end attack from them. Yep. There it is! Okay. We're okay. Ooh. Okay, good. It healed a little bit more than I thought it would. Okay, good. Yeah, you keep doing the fireballs. We're okay with that. But I am running low on my medicinal herbs. How many? I have 1 left. Bang. Okay, we're good. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's very dicey, but she can make it. And now she can finally have some help, and Borya's going to help her out. Now, how helpful he is another thing, because he has some offense, but he's more about support, and supporting her, he can't support her that much, because he's more about supporting offense, but we're going to see about that. The next fight's going to be Kilian. Oh god, Kilian, with just Borya and Maya. Well, that'll be interesting. I'll see you there. Okay, guys. We're here at the Marquis de Leon fight, or Marquis. I heard that it actually might be pronounced Marquis. I might have been saying it wrong this whole time, but oh well. Main point is, we're here, and I'm at a point where we could finally beat him. Here's the levels I'm at the moment. I do think that I had to overlevel a little bit, but for good reason. Now, at level 33 and 32, they have some decent stats here. Natural agility is up there pretty well, but the thing is, like, they don't have very good resilience, so their defense is kind of shitty, and they don't have many other options for helping with that. So yeah, this is where I am at. But the other thing is, while I could beat them at earlier levels with lesser spells, the only way I could win is by basically sacrificing someone. So someone always ended up dead. That was the main issue. But I basically leveled up her. I tried leveling her up until she had Puff or Sizzle, which worked again. And with Borya, I had originally done it up to Kakrak, and Kakrak is decent amount of damage, and so is Kasizzle. The thing is, again, they just can't endure it long enough because of their HP was pretty poor, and again, no better defenses and whatnot. So what ended up happening is someone always ended up dying, and that's why I leveled them up to basically safer rounds. And now I basically get through this fight pretty easy with just Frizzle and Crackle. Borya's basically got his best spells all set up, and Maya's got one more coming to her. So, but yeah, this fight's gonna end up being pretty easy. The item setup, it doesn't matter much. This is the best gear that they have. I do have a meteorite arm bracer, but it's unnecessary because we're fast enough already. But that's why I went with the fishnet stocking instead on her to give her a little boost in defense. But otherwise, some medicinal herbs. And for Borya, this is the best gear he can get at the moment. The Scale Shield, which is the best shield besides the Liquid Metal Shield. And Leather Hat until we find a Happy Hat. And Robo Serenity, arguably you can probably use Cloak of Evasion instead, but eh. And I switched out his Meteorite Bracer with the Gold Bracer just to give him a little bit, again, a little more defense. Just going for the defense. I wasn't sure if I needed the Cautery Sword, but he's susceptible to ice, so I didn't need it. But I used it for random encounters whenever someone's, resistant to or immune to ice. And it's a medicinal herb, but we won't be needing it for this fight. Anyway, as mentioned, this is going to be easy, so why don't we go ahead and get started. And of course, the heroine's alive because, well, I need her alive in order to get through. Ragnar won't let us through otherwise. But anyway, let's feel the anger and hatred for Goddess. The Goddess or something. Whatever. For boss time against Marquis de Leon? However you want to say it. By all means, correct me, guys. Anyway, you're just going to die, mages, so go ahead and just defend. And we're just going to Frizzle and Crackle. We'll get through this pretty easy. He doesn't have enough HP. Like we didn't have enough HP in the beginning either. Anyway, Frizzle, Crackle. You just gotta rush him down because we don't have the defenses to do anything long term. There's a small chance that we might have been able to beat him earlier with, say, a Staff of Salvation, which you can get at this point because you could sneak into the Endor's Royal Crypt and all that. But honestly, no. It would have been still a bit of it tough, and you would need Tornico to help you out with that, or fight constantly. But that's where I trained up anyway, and that's where I usually train up around this time if I need levels. Anyway, that's it for Marquis or Marquis de Leon. Oh, and Borya leveled up. Good for him. But alright. Next up is Balzack. We might be able to beat him at this level. Maybe. I'll find out. I'll see you there. Alright guys, we're here at Balzack, and as suspected, we can beat him at these levels. It is still a little tricky, but as long as you don't get too unlucky with how he attacks you, you're okay. So, nothing new on the item in terms of, the level front. But Maya's definitely going to be carrying this fight, that's for sure. So, same gear, and I basically gave her some medicinal herbs, both medicinal herbs, which are going to be needed, by the way. But we only needed to give it really to Borya, because Borya, he can't do any damage here. If anyone remembers if you remember the Borya and Kirill run, Borya only could just support as Kirill tried to attack, which was very painful. Luckily, we have Maya here, who can do really good damage. She just can't really survive very well. Well, neither of them can survive that much better. But they can still do something. And so, I don't really need to do too much prep work. We could just jump on in. Because we are imbeciles. But I'm going to fast forward to this part. But yeah, for the most part, Borya's just going to play support. Anyway, Balzack draws near. So, we're just going to Frizzle it. And Borya is going to use Bounce, because his crack spells don't work, Snooze will not work, Sap does work, but we ain't attacking. And Accelerate is unnecessary, so just Bounce, so that Crackle doesn't affect you. Yeah, you still can get unlucky. If he if Balzack really decides to go really well on Maya, there's really nothing you can do. So there's still an element of luck in this. But Borya's just going to focus on healing her. Now, there's a possibility that you probably should just keep Borya in the front instead, too. But, she does have better defense than he does, so he probably just end up healing himself anyway. Yeah, the cool breath is not as bad. But anyway, she's just going to keep frizzling, and Borya's going to heal. She's beating his self-healing, and yep, and there you go. Because she's beating his self-healing, the fight doesn't drag out as much. But if you didn't have that burst of attack or damage, this would be a struggle. But luckily, it's not. Oh, and we get a level apparently. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. But yeah, that's it for Mr. Balzack. Now we can open up to this, well, one easy fight against Kirk Buzzer. And then, I'm not sure how Rose Garden's going to be. Oof. That's where things are probably going to get really tricky thanks to the Sphere of Silence. We'll have to see how that goes, but for now, I'll see you in the next one.